and we're going to lead out on that chant. This is our country. America is a country that was founded on Christian principles, right? And they understand that. Let me tell you something right now. If you think that the full weight of the government is after Trump, you would be right. But understand that the full weight of the government, Trump is just one step. They've always been after Jesus Christ. Christ is king. Thank you guys. You got a few people here, Charlie. A couple people. Wow. They'll be here tomorrow for President Donald. Anybody excited to see Donald Trump? Well, he's coming here. Before we get started, I just want to let everybody know Donald Trump is coming to Michigan because we're taking Michigan back, and then we're taking the country back. I am so excited to have everyone. We've known each other for a while. Yes. We've been in the trenches together. And I think I've built up a lot of credibility to say this, everybody, over the last year. I've been somewhat critical of the prior RNC stuff. I am thrilled that Lauren Trump is now the co-chair of the RNC. You're doing a great job. Let's get right into it. I don't know if you guys know this, but you here are at a crime scene. This is where this convention center. This is now, of course, I'm sorry. Safe, secure, most of these collections. Oh, yeah, that one. But, literally, it happened right here. They rented the site. location. We can train you to work in a tabulation center where the mail and ballots come in. We also want attorneys to work in every major polling location, so we are not reactive, we are proactive. The second you see an issue, we address it. We're going to have more rooms set up all across this country and every state as well to deal with things as they happen, not days, weeks, or months later. So protectthevote.com is the website. Again, protectthevote.com. If you want to be part of our team, we will come to you and we will train you in your state, give you everything you need to know. Any lawyers in the audience listening, if you are a lawyer, you do not have to be trained in election law. We will train you on exactly what you need to be looking out for. It will take a Herculean effort to fight back against all the nonsense and all the nefarious activities that we know happen out there. But this year is the year we do it. We are also sending a loud election. So we launched it today. We're taking it all the way to the first November 5th, and that's how we are going to protect it this time around. We can never repeat 2020 ever again, ladies and gentlemen.
This is so incredibly important, and this is different than in 2020. In 2020, let's be honest. single person has a role to play here. And so another element of this is how groups like Turning Point Action and other outside groups are now able to work on door knocking and canvassing with the campaign. And we've been talking a lot about that openly. I think one of the greatest frauds, though, on the American people is our own people not showing up to vote. So it's a two-pronged strategy. We must secure the vote, but we also must make sure that every single one of our own people are registered to vote and to vote. Let me just be clear. If you're attending this event and you're not registered to vote, go to tvaction.com/vote and get that done in like 30 seconds. I mean, that is the least we can do. And I want to tell you a quick story for guys who are. I live in Arizona. We have to win Arizona, by the way. It is mission critical to win Arizona. I am obsessing about it, and I started to see the data of how many people support us but are not voting for registered vote. I found it hard to believe. So I got out there. Someone would come up. Charlie, I see you on TikTok. I listen to your podcast, and I have a selfie. And I start to ask, are you registered to vote? A shocking number of people who watch our content, who even wear Trump gear, are registered to vote. Laura, can you talk about how we are doing fraud to ourselves if we stay at home, not vote, and not get our friends to vote?
This is a must-win election, right? We all know that. It's palpable across the country what is at stake. It is not just our right as an American citizen, it is our duty to ensure that we get out and vote. And Charlie's exactly right. There are so many people out there who say, oh yeah, I like Donald Trump, I support Donald Trump, but they're maybe not registered to vote, or maybe they are registered to vote, but they're a little harder to mobilize. They're what we call low propensity voters. We have just launched Trump Force 47. What that is a community effort. That means every person in this room, you can participate. We want neighbor-to-neighbor contact. Who better to talk to your neighbor than someone they already know, right? You have to identify a certain number of people, and that is your goal. You get them out to vote. Get your neighbors, get your friends, get your family, get everybody you know, I don't care, as long as they're voting the right way, out to vote. If you want to be part of this team, TrumpForce47.com is the website. All of us have a role to play. We cannot sit idly by on the sidelines in this election. I'm traveling the country as the co-chair of the RNC, and I'm honored to do it, but I have two young kids at home. They are 4 and 6 years old, and I can tell you it is very hard when I leave my children, but I'm out here doing it for them. Because this isn't about us right now. This is about the future of America. And we all have a role that we can play. So we want everyone to get engaged, and we want to also make sure everybody understands we're going to have to play this game differently, right? We can't continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. It's literally the definition of insanity. So we have our election integrity program that we started at the RNC. That is the first of its kind effort. We also are trying to make sure that every person in this country is reached, and we started applying this in the primaries. Did you notice how Donald Trump won more primary votes in each state than in the history of primaries? Did you notice that? That's the Trump Force 47. That is this effort. That is a peer-to-peer contact effort. We can all get involved, we can all be a part of it, and we all must be a part of it to ensure victory on November 5th.
And it can start as easy as this. Step 1, buy a MAGA hat. Step 2, go in public with that MAGA hat.
I see a lot of them.
Right? No,
Yes.
this is important. Step 3, someone comes up and compliments your MAGA hat. Step 4, ask them if they're registered to vote. If they are not, show them how they can get registered to vote. tpaction.com/vote or whatever. You can draw people into conversations in public places, and they can register to vote right there and show them how to do it. They're the one registering, and it's incredibly important. Low propensity voters will make or break the future of America.
Well, can I comment on that very quickly? If you think about what this election came down to in 2020, it was really, literally thousands of votes that this came down to. And so another thing we're going to have to attack differently is things like legal ballot harvesting, which we are going to do all over this country. If the Democrats can do it, so can we. We got to fight fire with fire. We also have to vote early. And let me tell you why. I know as Republicans, we want the perfect ideal day. We want one day of voting, we want paper ballots, and we want voter ID. I want that too, and we can get there, but we've got to play the hand that we're dealt right now. And the hand that we're dealt is that we have an election season. And so what that means is that we want to make sure you get your vote in. Think back to the election that Kari Lake had, in speaking of Arizona. We literally saw a voting precinct on election day. This was a red district. We know how these people would have voted. They would have voted for Kari Lake. That entire precinct shut down because the machine stopped operating. Line wrapped around the block on election day. None of those people got to vote. You could argue Kari Lake may have won her election had that not happened. So what do we want from you? We want you to get your vote banked. We're taking care of the rest at the RNC. We are ensuring that vote counts. However you can vote. Early vote, mail-in vote, whatever you need to do, get your vote in as early and in whatever way you can. And then you take every day from that moment up until election day, taking somebody to go vote. Take your friends, take your family, drive them in your car if you have to, buy them a sandwich if you have to, after we know the Democrats love to do that. Whatever you need to do it and get them to go vote. And then what that does for us on the other end is it allows us to use our resources to target the rest of those low propensity voters. We don't have to worry about your vote. You don't have to worry that you're going to have a voting precinct, breakdown, that you're going to have life happen. Your kid gets sick, you get called into work that day, whatever it is.